So good afternoon. This afternoon we have a treat to meet a student here at Willamette University, and Grace Grahou is graduating in May. Coming right up, she'll have. She's double majoring, and she's said that was a gruesome decision because both majors required a thesis and a whole number of other things. So she's been working hard, and she's going to share her story of how do you come from Ivory Coast and end up in Salem, Oregon to do your education. And I met Grace at the Association of University Women, and they were honoring her as having received one of their leadership awards and grants, and she attended a workshop in Washington, D.C. that's sponsored annually by the AAUW, and the AAUW hosts a number of exemplary women leaders across the corporate and governance world at this annual workshop that they have that is widely regarded as an excellent place to network with powerful women across the U.S. and the globe, in fact. So she had a unique experience and opportunity there. But Grace comes from a family of entrepreneurs, and she'll tell us about her mom and how she's grown her business and what made it possible for her to come here. And just to kind of add a little element of surprise, before she came here, she was not the most fluent in English. And so she attended courses at Chemeketa and became English as a second language literate, and did this all in 4.5 years here. And is graduating from Willamette. And so thank you for joining us, Grace, and enjoy this outstanding story.
Thank you so much. So, hello everyone, I'm Grace Grahou, and today I'm gonna talk to you about my story and how I got here. So, the question is, what do the Ivory Coast, Salem, Willamette University, Washington, D.C., and the American Association of University Women have in common? I looked at the question and I was like, I don't know if I can do this in an hour, but for you guys, I made it possible. So today I'm gonna make you travel with me through all the different things that I've been through. So at first, these places may seem completely different, but today I'm going to show you how they're all connected through one journey, which is my journey. So I'm Grace. I'm Grace. It's an honor for me to be here today. And I'm an international student here at Willamette University, and I'm a senior, majoring in sociology and women and gender study. And today I'm gonna share my story with you and talk about how I got here. So I will do my best to take you on this adventure with me, and yeah, let's start. So I moved here in the United States 4 years ago, in March 2022. And I came here because I had a dream. I had a dream of becoming an international human rights lawyer, especially to defend women's rights. So, and part of that motivation comes from my childhood. So I'm gonna start from the very, very beginning. So where I am from, I'm from Ivory Coast. So if you look at the map, the little yellow country right there is where my country is located. It's right on the coast. So Ivory Coast is in West Africa, and my first language is French. And coming to the United States has been the biggest and the most challenging step of my life. This journey made me discover who I am outside of my comfort zone. And I grew up in a family with a lot of love, but also lots of violence. So we're gonna talk about violence today. And I was trying to show a little bit about what my country looks like. So this is the main city, that's the capital where I was born. It's called Abidjan. And then this is some of our tradition. We have 68 languages in my country. And yeah, my parents only speak 2, and I feel like I speak half because I don't even know a lot of words, but I'm still working on it. And this is the delicious food that I miss. I miss a lot of food. So, where it all began. So I grew up in a home with domestic violence. I had to advocate for my mom at the age of, at a very young age. And I was very traumatized. But I knew I didn't want to stay silent because I believed my voice could change something. So over time, the violence became a cycle, and it became something almost like normal, to the point where my dad forgot that this wasn't okay. And in my culture, parents are always right. So I didn't have the word or the courage to say that this situation was hurting all of us. Me, my older sister, my younger brother, and everyone who was living in the house. So at the age of 10, things got worse. And I felt like I had to do something. So I was very scared of my dad and, sorry. So I asked him if I could meet with him at the coffee shop. And I told him that he was traumatizing us. I told him that I couldn't sleep anymore because I heard them fighting all the time. And I told him that violence is not a solution. It only makes things worse. And he told me that, my mom was provoking him, and I told him that it's your wife, and you have no right to treat her like this. And I even offered to be the mediator between them. I said, if you want to tell her something and you feel like you can't control yourself, just tell me and I can go and tell her what you want to say, So, I thought that could help. And I was surprised how he was listening to me. He was paying attention to everything that I was saying, and I was very surprised. I wasn't expecting that. And even though everything didn't change immediately, but he said something that changed my life forever. He said, I didn't know how smart Grace was. She spoke to me like an adult, and I think she will be the lawyer of the family. Wow. I didn't even know what that meant. So I said, if that's what a lawyer does, then I'm the lawyer of the family. I will take it. So that's where everything started. And in my community, women's rights were not really respected. And deep down, I knew I wanted to change that. So I didn't want to end up like my mom. I was like, I'm not going to finish like this. So later when I got to high school, I failed my high school diploma the first time. And it was my first time experiencing failure. So because my dad was very strict, I felt a lot of pressure to succeed in life. And this failure made me feel like my dad would never forgive me. And I was very disappointed of myself. So at that moment, I decided I didn't want to go to school anymore. I was like, I'm done. So because before that, my dad has promised me, he was like, after high school, you will join your sister in France, because my sister was living in France at that time. And he said that I would join her, and he will find like a good law school for me to continue my study and all that. So after that failure, I was like, okay, everything's over for me. So during his research, because he kept looking for universities and things that I can do after, so he met a childhood friend of him, and he explained my situation to the friend. And the friend told him that it would be very difficult for me to find a university without my diploma. So he asked to meet with me in person. So I was like, okay. So when we met, he gave me a challenge. I love challenge, okay. So he said, if you retake your year and pass your diploma, I will convince your dad to send you study in the United States, and I will personally handle all the paperwork for you. Wow. From France to the United States, that's a big difference. So for me, that sounded impossible. I'm like, I don't even speak English, how I'm gonna go there? So I thought he was tricking me, but he said, yes, I'm serious. If you retake your year and you pass your diploma, you will go to the United States. So I was like, okay, challenge accepted. So it felt impossible, especially because of the language barrier, but I decided to try anyway, and today I'm sitting here in front of you because of that decision. So that's how I got to the United States. So my journey in the United States, especially in Salem. So in the first picture, it's me, and next to me with this, the handbag, it's my mom. That's the day they took me to the airport. I was leaving. I was excited and also super scared. Never leaving home. I never left home at all. And first time traveling to a country that's 20 hours away, that's super scary. And then here it's me when I got to Oregon. I think it was like a week after I got here. So coming to the United States was my first time traveling and living outside, living outside my country. I came here right after COVID. Everything felt like a shock. There were so many things that I never questioned before. My race, my identity, my place in the world. So I started to see things differently, but I was ready and open to learn. So I had zero English. I had zero English when I arrived. And I studied in the ESL program at Chemeketa Community College. But just 2 weeks after I got here, my host family asked me to leave. Yes, they said, you have to go. Because the other student who was living in the house said that she was afraid of me because I was black. So that was a shock. So I didn't have anywhere to go. The language barrier made it even harder. I couldn't find housing. My English wasn't strong enough for me to navigate things on my own. And I didn't understand how things worked here. So how am I gonna find a house? So even my advisor couldn't find another host family for me because the school just started and everyone already got put in the host family and everything. So it was difficult. So I stayed in friends' host family living room for a couple of weeks, and then I moved again to another place. So I would go to that friend's house for a little bit, that friend's house for a little bit, and I had to go to school. So I would do that and go to school and come back home and move my stuff. And it was interesting. It was crazy. So, and my parents didn't know any of this. I didn't tell them because I didn't want them to worry. I wanted to show them that I could accomplish what I came here for. So I did it. So life was very hard and frustrating. I felt like a baby again, unable to speak or express myself. Then one day I made a decision. I said, me, Grace, I will learn this language by any means. Nothing will stop me. So I had that in my head and I knew I could do it. So finally my advisor became my host mom because she couldn't find any other place for me to stay. So she became like a mother, a mentor to me, and I was afraid that she would also reject me because of my differences, but she didn't. And because of her, everything started to change. So I learned English much faster because at dinner I have to speak English, in the morning I have to speak English, if I need to make food I have to speak English. So I was forced to speak English all the time. So I started to learn really, really fast. And then instead of 2 years, I finished my program in 9 months. Wow. Thank you. So my professors were proud of me, and I was proud of myself too. I started college feeling nervous, but my community at Chemeketa was so supportive, and I began to believe that if others could succeed, I could succeed too. So I started getting involved on campus. I worked at the facilities, became a club coordinator, then president of the international club, and I worked with the international student advisor. So those experiences gave me confidence and helped me believe in my dreams. So one of the most important moments in my journey was taking my first women in gender study class at Chemeketa. So I had so many questions about women's rights when I came here. Why things were so different compared to my country. And that class changed everything. I learned about what women go through around the world, and I realized how much of this is normalized. I remember breaking down in tears in class. I felt I felt like it was my fault that my mom had gone through what she went through, and that was hard. That was very hard, because the material like we were learning in class were very, very heavy. And yeah, so I was sobbing so bad that my professor told me to call my mom. And she said, maybe that would help you feel better. So I did. I called my mom and I told her, I'm sorry, it's my fault if you went through all this. You shouldn't say, you should have lived and all that. And she said, it's not your fault. She told me that she stayed because she loves us and because she wants us to have the best education, everything we deserve in life. And then she ended by saying, because of people like you, women won't suffer like I did. Wow. So that stayed in here and in my heart. So that moment gave meaning to everything I had lived through. And I continued moving forward with the same dream, becoming an international lawyer fighting for women's rights. So during my search for law school, many people recommended I go to Willamette. I told my advisor, and she came with me to a campus tour. For me, private school, it was not even imaginable because my parents were already struggling to pay for Chemeketa, so Willamette didn't seem possible to me because it was a lot of money. But after the tour, they reassured me that it was possible, and they explained that even though it's a private school, they offer really good scholarship, and based on GPA and student involvement, I might have a chance. So why not? So that gave me hope. And guess what? I applied, and I got a really good scholarship. My family was so happy for me, and I was even happier. So now we did Ivory Coast, the US, I think we are going to Willamette. So Willamette. So coming to Willamette was a new chapter in my life. After everything that I've been through, this was a moment where I could finally start building something for myself. So when I arrived, I really wanted to put myself out there and be part of the community. So I joined the Black Student Union, I joined a sorority on campus, and I started working at the Office of International Education. I also work as a French tutor and on the facility grounds crew where we take care of the green space on campus. So I became very active. I was trying new things, meeting new people, and pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. So this time it wasn't about surviving anymore, it was about growing. Eventually, I became the president of the New Roots Club, which is a club for non-traditional, international, and transfer students. So that role meant a lot to me because I was able to support students who had experiences similar to mine. So for the first time, I wasn't just finding my place, I was creating space for others too. And that's when other opportunity came into my life. So yeah, I have done a lot of first thing here at Willamette. I did school choir for the first time, so I was in the choir here at Willamette, and I did opera this semester, which you can see there, and this was an event that happened with my sorority, and I won. So I was celebrating with everyone. I was like, yeah, everyone was screaming, Grace, Grace, Grace. And this is a scholarship that I got recently, and yes. So, talking about opportunity, everything was going well until one day a girl in my sorority posted in our group chat about an opportunity. So she said the American Association of University Women, AAUW Salem Branch, was offering a scholarship to attend the National Conference of College Women Student Leader, and any woman could apply. I was like, okay, I'm a woman, so I just need to apply. So I was like, I didn't know too much about it. And I told myself, if it doesn't kill me and it's an educational opportunity, I'm applying. So that's it. So I applied. And surprisingly, I was selected. I was honored to receive the scholarship to attend the National Conference of College Women Student Leader 2025. At that moment, I didn't fully realize how much this experience was going to shape the leader in me. And that experience became one of the most transformative moments in my journey. So that's me and my friend. We were at the airport waiting for the other girls to arrive so we could go. Before that conference, what was my definition of a woman leader? So growing up, my definition of a woman leader was my mother. So she is in the orange dress right on the middle. So after I was born, she started her small business selling egg at the market. And today I'm 23 and she's still doing it. So this work is not easy because she wakes up at 4 a.m., long day at the market, often in the rain and often in unsafe condition, losing money when eggs break or when farmers refuse to deliver. But despite all these challenges, she became the president of the Egg Seller Association. And in this role, she empowered and supported many women who once believed they could do nothing without men. And thanks to her, many of these women are now able to send their children to school and feed their family. So for me, that is what a true woman leader looks like. And I wanted to say a big thank you to her because through her hard work, I'm able to stand here in front of you today. So I love you, Mama. So what is the NCCWSL? So the NCCWSL stands for National Conference of College Women Student Leader. It is organized by the AAUW, which is the American Association of University Women, an organization that supports women advancement in education and leadership. So that's me at the conference with my friend and also me over there. And last year, the conference was held at the University of Maryland, College Park from May 28th to the 30th. And the purpose of the conference was to empower young women leaders through leadership, developing skills to lead confidently, advocacy, learning how to speak up and make change, networking, connecting with other student leaders and professionals, and empowerment, getting tools, confidence, and inspiration to make an impact in our community. So the NCCWSL is known for being a life-changing experience for students across the U.S., helping us grow personally and professionally. So my highlights of the conference. So the workshop focused on leadership, advocacy, and career skill. That showed me leadership is something we practice and grow, not just an idea. And the keynote speakers were women who lead with vision and courage. Their story reminded me leadership is personal and collective. And networking, I learned leaders aren't perfect. We all face challenges. And I realized I'm not alone, and that authenticity makes networking powerful. We also talk about career prep. Help me think about the future I want to create. So there was a lot in that conference. I'm gonna go deeper. So what did I learn? So one of the biggest things I learned from this conference is that leadership is not a title, it's an action. It's something we practice every day. I also learned that my voice matters. Before I sometimes doubted if I belong in certain space, but now I know I do. Another important lesson was balance, because leadership is not just about doing more, it's also about taking care of yourself. So community and support are essential. So this was one of the, we had break room, and then she was presenting something on, there was no permission needed to speak, because sometimes as women, when you speak too much, they say you speak too much. You need to you need to close up yourself and all that. So she was telling us that don't be afraid to take up space because you deserve. And those were all the main speakers at the conference, the keynote speaker at the conference. So my personal takeaway. So this conference gave me the confidence in my leadership. I realized that I don't need to wait to feel ready. I already have what it takes. I also discovered the power of my story. Sharing my journey is not a weakness, it's a strength. I learned how to advocate not only for myself, but for other women, especially those whose voices are often overlooked. And most importantly, I learned that being authentic is powerful. I don't have to change who I am to belong. And my key lesson from the speakers. So one of them emphasized protecting your mental health because leadership comes with pressure. Another encouraged us to be authentic and take up space, even when it feels uncomfortable. I also learned that I belong in every room I enter. My perspective has value. And finally, leadership starts with purpose, knowing your why. So one of the sessions that really impacted me was about balance. I chose this session because moving to the United States gave me so many opportunities, and I felt like I had to say yes to everything. But this left me overwhelmed, neglecting my health. So I realized that saying yes to everything can lead to burnout. Leadership also means knowing when to say no, which was so hard for me to do, but I'm getting there. So taking care of yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. So my biggest realization from the conference is that I don't need permission to be who I am. My voice, my background, my story are powerful, and I deserve to take up space. Being surrounded by so many diverse women leaders and role models helped me to see what leadership can do, like in different form. And it made me imagine my own future more clearly. So this experience has strengthened my motivation to become a human rights lawyer, because I realized that this work is not just a career, it's a responsibility. One quote that really stayed with me is, leadership is not a position or title, it's an action and example. That made me understand that I don't have to wait to lead. I can start now with what I do and how I show up. And finally, this experience inspired me to support and uplift other women, especially those who, like me, may feel they don't belong. So, coming back to the main question at the beginning, what do all those places have in common? I can answer it by saying courage, resilience, and belief. If others can do it, you can too. You can do it too. So I really like this quote by me, because I wasn't invited to the table, so I built my own seat. And now I sit at the table with the people who once said that I couldn't. I wrote this quote because as a woman, society often places limits on us and tell us where we belong or where we don't belong. But if we accept those limits, nothing will ever change. So I built my own seat, and now I'm here, sitting at the table I was told I couldn't reach, and I'm not done yet. So I really like this quote. So now, I would like to say a thank you to the Willamette Institute for continued learning, for allowing me to share my story with you today. And I'm incredibly grateful to the AAUW Salem Branch for supporting me. Without their support, attending the NCCWSL conference would not have been possible. And I also wanted to thank my mentor, friends, and community members who encouraged me, guide me, and believe in me. Their support made this journey smoother and more meaningful. And I will leave you with this. When women support each other, amazing things happen. So this experience showed me the power of community, mentorship, and shared purpose. And I hope to carry that forward in everything I do. But before I'm done, I'm gonna show you a video of my experience at the conference. I did a little vlog so you guys can see what happened and yeah, everything that I talked about.
Hi everyone, come with me on my NCCWSL adventure. Our flight was smooth. Once we landed, we took the train and then Uber to our hotel. The hotel was amazing. I honestly didn't want to leave our room that first night. We took a little nap and after we went to get some good jerk chicken. The next day we got ready and headed to the university dorm to drop off our stuff. Then we went out to explore Washington, D.C. We visited a museum, the White House, and the National Museum of African American History and Culture, which was amazing. After that, we made it back just in time for the conference opening. The opening was short, but after that, we got to do activities, to meet new people, and we even went bowling. That was so fun. Here is a look at my dorm room. I shared it with another student from Oregon, which was really fun. The next morning was the big day, the conference. It lasted all day with incredible guest speaker. Here is the AAUW scholarship recipient from Oregon and all the other scholarship recipients as well. My favorite part was watching Esha Jones introduce all the guest speakers. It was truly inspiring.
Okay, so we're going to go this way. One word from the workshop you attended today. Values. Virtue.
Justice.
Okay.
Authentic.
Did somebody say quality? Equality. Transformation. Y'all don't put me to the test. I hold a PhD. I got this. I'm a researcher by day. I got this. Welcome back. I'm thrilled to announce our keynote speaker for this session, Gloria Blackwell, the CEO for the American Association of University Women. So Gloria is a passionate advocate for equity and inclusion. She's brilliant, she's insightful, she's the superwoman that you need today. She's going to empower you to understand how you transform to the next level, because with transformation comes justice and virtue and makes you authentic. She strategically gained $70 million to support women in STEM and other avenues to go to scholarships to be able to attend conferences. The epistemology is the theoretical framework that makes her who she is today. So don't try to play with me with your words, because I got them on lock. She's supportive of you. She'll show you gratitude. She builds relationships for this audience and audience beyond her. She's able to be a negotiator because she puts herself in a vulnerable position to be flawless. Pressure, pressure, pressure ain't nothing when you got goals in mind. And this is Dr. Gloria Blackwell today.
That was one of my breakout sessions. One thing that I have to mention about this trip, the food was amazing. I told you. And here's a picture of me with my friend Toro. On the last night, we visited few more spots in DC. The train station was stunning. We saw the Lincoln Memorial and the Martin Luther King Memorial. These are some of the amazing women leaders I met in one of my breakout sessions. The one in pink is an international student from Nigeria. I was so happy to connect with her. This is me and Raquel, another student leader from Salem. This was my first time flying to a conference, and it was honestly one of the most unforgettable experiences of my life. Working with such strong and powerful women showed me that change is possible. Thank you for trusting me and giving me this life-changing opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. We're going to take a few more minutes of your time with some questions here, but amazing life story, and she dances too. So anyway, here's some questions.
Okay.
Thank you, Grace. You are a treasure indeed. I think a lot of my name is Lee. Many Americans have a backward view of Africa as a continent, and I think we carry stereotypes in our mind as though it's all a total jungle and all. If you could express in 1 or 2 sentences what Africa is like today, what would you say?
I was also surprised when I hear that people think Africa is a country. It's not a country. When I was in my English program, somebody asked me, "Oh, your dad has a car?" And I said, "Yes." Like, we have car, we have houses and everything. So, so Africa is, I will say, it's same like here. Like, we have everything that's here. Maybe when you take, I cannot speak for Africa in general because I'm from a specific country, so I don't know what's happening in other countries. But I would say, for example, in the medical system, there is things that maybe like the US has that we don't have right now. Like, for example, I have diabetes type 1, and here I'm able to have like a sensor, a monitor on my arm, and I have a device that injects me automatically. But my dad, back home, he has to do that manually. Like, he has to inject himself and all that. So those things may vary, based on where you live and all that. But yeah, everything that we see here, we have that in Africa. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Hi, thank you. My name is Joan. You are amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
I would like to apologize for the fact that I know nothing about the culture of the Ivory Coast. But what is it in your early childhood and in the environment that allowed you to know at the age of 10 that what your father was doing to your mother was wrong?
For me, I had that idea of love and hurt. Like, if you love someone, you're not gonna hurt that person, right? And the way that my mother was showing love to me wasn't like by hurting me. So if you say that she's your wife and you love her, why your way of loving her is different than the way she loves us, So I was thinking about that, and the fact that society kind of like normalize everything, even when family member, like my mom brothers, when they will come over and then we have discussion, I was listening and I hear that, "Oh, it's your husband, like he's right." I'm like, you don't even try to understand what's going on, but you're already saying that he's right. Why you give him the right to be right? Like, because he has money, or because, So I feel like everything around that, I had no space to go and explain how I was feeling, because even if I went to my uncles, to the neighbor, they'll be like, "It's your family business. Like, we're not gonna. It's between you and your parents." Or like my uncle wouldn't understand what I lived every day in my house, So yeah, I felt like at one point I was like, whatever my dad's gonna do to me or say to me, I need to tell him how I was feeling. because I couldn't sleep. And it was sad because even when I moved here, sometimes at night, I would wake up in the middle of the night, be scared, and just call my mom, hey, are you okay? Because it's something that I feel like I still need to protect her. Like I still need to be there for her. And yeah, it's sad, but that's a great question.
Hi, I'm Ava. You're, again, yes, you are amazing. If I had
Thank
half
you.
the courage that you have, I would be so happy. So my question is about your future. You plan to be a lawyer. What are you hoping to accomplish as a lawyer? And are you planning to do that here or back in West Africa or somewhere else?
So I want to work internationally because I feel like women need me everywhere. So, I mean, I can't save everybody, but I will try my best. So when I went to talk to Willamette Law School, because that's where I'm hoping to go, they told me that there is two law degree that I can get. I can get one that will allow me to work in the US and one that I can get, but I would only be able to work back home. So I feel like getting the one that will allow me to work in the US will give me more opportunity to like go internationally because that's what I want to do. So I'm planning on doing that and then having maybe a law firm here in the US if I have the money for, and then also maybe try to have one back home. And then I don't want to stay in one place. I want to be able to travel, maybe go to China and places where people need me. So that's the vision that I have. I want to work internationally.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Franca. I think we're also related. Long story. Anyway, my question is, your friends, your female friends especially, even your male friends in your hometown in Ivory Coast, what are their comments or their impressions about you? What do you talk about with them or communicate? So, yeah.
Like right now or like when
Yeah, like during the whole process, not just right now, yeah.
So I would say when I was going through all that, I was afraid and also ashamed to share what I was going through because I felt like on the outside we had like the perfect family, you know. When they see us going to church and all that, and then they cannot imagine what's going on home. So I had one friend who knew almost everything because she was my best friend, but she was also going through kind of similar situation. But the difference was that her mom was really good at not talking. Like her dad will do everything and she'll be just silent. And on my side, my mom will say something. So, that the way that things go were a little different, but it's still the same violence that was happening. But yeah, she was the only one that I could relate to and that I could share things with her because I felt like she wouldn't judge me. Because I felt like I don't know, I felt like it was my fault. I don't know why I felt that way. I felt like it was my fault too. If my mom was I couldn't do anything, why I couldn't do anything. And then, yeah, the only thing that I could do, I'm trying to protect my brother because I feel like I was traumatized and I felt like he was going to be traumatized. So I didn't want him to be traumatized. So that's the thing that I was trying to communicate to my parents. I'm like, if you can't see that I'm traumatized, I don't want you to do that to that little boy because he's going to grow up thinking this is okay and do the same thing. And it's interesting because right now I'm writing a memoir about all that. And then I also interview my siblings. And I have the voice in my memoir too. And then the memoir is a little bit about like what I wouldn't dare say to my father because all of this he doesn't know. And then I'm writing to him and I'm hoping one day he will read it. I am so scared. I don't know if I want him to read it at all or anything. But yeah, it's my way of healing because you grow up with a lot of things that you never share, you don't share. And I love my dad. Like I love him because he puts all his money on me in my education and all that. And I feel like it's good to like put money into your child, but also there is wounds that money cannot help, that cannot heal. So, yeah.
Hi, You're so brave.
Thank you.
My name is Neely. How did you end up in Oregon, though? Because coming from the Ivory Coast, there are so many places you can go, and you ended up in Salem. How did that happen?
That's a good question. So, my dad's childhood friend who recommended me to come to the U.S., he has a little school where he helps students come study in Canada or in the U.S., and then so he was looking for the right place for me to go since I never left home before. So a couple students was like, oh, she should go to Oregon because I was there, it's really quiet. They don't have a lot of taxes. And then, yeah, for someone who never left home and if her parents are worried about safety, I think that's a great place for her to go. So I was like, where is Oregon? I never heard that. I was like, I want to go to New York because that's what we see in movies. And he's like, no, you're going to Oregon. I was like, okay. So that's basically how I end up here. Yeah, I didn't have a choice.
Do you have a question? Right here.
Hi, my name is Al. It reminds me I spent one summer in 1962 in Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Nigeria. I was going to school and working, and I didn't really go to the Ivory Coast at the time. But one thing I would like to comment on about people not knowing Africa, when I was going to go there, it was an international program. My mother said, well, while you're in Sierra Leone, why don't you just run over to Ethiopia, which is probably 3,500 miles away or something like that. But I really appreciate your comments and your perspective. Brings me back to those days when a lot of the countries were new and they were merging. There was a lot of enthusiasm at that time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other question?
Great. Well, join me in thanking Grace again for taking time.
Thank you.
We can all learn from this experience that resilience is born out of a lot of different life experiences. And Grace, congratulations on your coming graduation. I know she's headed right now to go write the last 5 pages of her thesis on one minor. And so, anyway, thank you for your diligence and sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor for me.
Yeah, great.